It is 3 in the morning. The cold blue glow of the monitor is the only light in your bedroom. You are staring at a minimalist dashboard that just refreshed. Revenue, $412. Not for the month, for the last 24 hours. You look down at your hands. You are wearing a faded grey hoodie with a mustard stain on the cuff. You haven't even brushed your teeth today. If anyone walked into this room right now, they would see a 20-year-old kid wasting his youth staring at a screen. But they do not see the dashboard. No face, no name, no brand. Just an infinite stream of revenue built in the shadows. This is the ghost economy, and you are about to crack it wide open. Let's rewind. Level 1. The broke experimenter. You start where everyone starts. Desperate and endlessly scrolling. You see these influencers flexing rented supercars and Dubai penthouses, screaming at you to build a personal brand. But you do not want to be a dancing monkey on the internet. You hate the camera. You value your privacy. So you dig deeper. You discover the underbelly of the digital gold rush. Faceless YouTube channels, Instagram theme pages, TikTok accounts posting Reddit stories with mind-numbing mobile game footage in the background. To the untrained eye, it looks like absolute garbage. But you quickly realize it is garbage that prints money. You decide to play the game. You pick a niche. Stoicism. Why? Because sad young men on the internet endlessly consume Marcus Aurelius quotes over slow-motion footage of rain. You do not know the first thing about ancient philosophy, but you know how to prompt an AI. You generate 50 quotes. You pirate a voiceover software. You scrape free stock footage. It takes you 12 agonizing hours to make your first batch of 10 videos. You upload them into the void. Nothing happens. 0 views. 1 view. It is probably a bot. You almost quit right there. But on day 14, at 2:15 in the afternoon, while you are sitting in the back of a college macroeconomics lecture that you are actively failing, your phone buzzes. Then it buzzes again. And again. You open the studio app under your desk. A video you made about the Sigma male grind set just caught the algorithmic slipstream. 10,000 views. 50,000. By dinner time, it crosses 500,000. You check the monetization tab. You just made $89 while eating a stale cafeteria sandwich. The matrix glitches. It clicks in your brain. You do not need a personality. You need an assembly line. Level 2. The digital sweatshop. You hit your first $5,000 month. To your parents, you are still the quiet kid who never leaves the house and needs to get a real job. But inside the machine, you are a ruthless CEO. You realize that doing the editing yourself is a massive bottleneck. Your time is finite, but the internet's appetite for dopamine-inducing short-form content is infinite. So you discover geo-arbitrage. You hop on freelance platforms. You find a hungry editor halfway across the world who can crank out hyper-edited, high-retention videos with the perfect sound effects for $5 a pop. You find a scriptwriter who understands Western internet culture better than you do. You are no longer a creator. You are an allocator of capital. You build a simple communication channel. You drop a link with raw files at 11 at night, and by 8 in the morning, you wake up to 5 finished videos ready to be scheduled. You are spending $300 a week on freelancers, but the channels are kicking back over $2,000. It is a literal money printer. You start cloning the system. If stoicism works, why not true crime? Why not personal finance? Why not relationship advice narrated by an iVoice that sounds like a disappointed father? You launch 3 more channels. You do not know anything about true crime, but your editor knows exactly where to put the glowing red arrow in the thumbnail to manipulate the click-through rate. The numbers start getting stupid. You hit $20,000 in a single month. You remember staring at your banking app in the drive-thru of a fast food spot, realizing you could probably buy a new car in cash today if you really wanted to, but you just order a cheap combo meal. The disconnect between your physical reality and your digital empire is starting to mess with your head. You still live in your childhood bedroom with posters from high school peeling off the wall. But massive wire transfers from tech giants are hitting your checking account every 21st of the month. The bank teller looks at you funny when you go in to increase your daily wire limit. "Are you a software engineer?" she asks, looking at your messy hair and worn-out sneakers. "Something like that," you reply, with a polite smile. You are a ghost. You pull the strings from the dark, completely untouchable. But the system is fragile. The algorithm is a fickle god that demands constant adaptation. And just as you think you have completely mastered the board, the rules change. The platform rolls out a massive update targeting automated content. You wake up at 9 in the morning, open your email, and see the dreaded red icon. Demonetized for reused content. Your biggest channel wiping out $8,000 of monthly recurring revenue in a single second. Your heart drops into your stomach. The panic is entirely silent. A cold sweat breaks out on the back of your neck. You spend 48 hours frantically editing metadata, deleting questionable videos, and submitting desperate appeals, refreshing your inbox every 10 minutes. Appeal rejected. The automated response is a punch to the gut. You realize the brutal truth of the ghost economy. You do not own the algorithm owns you. You built a lucrative skyscraper on rented land, and the landlord just changed the locks without warning. Most people would quit right here. They would fold, go back to that macroeconomics class, and beg the professor for extra credit. But you are not most people anymore. You have tasted the blood of digital leverage. You wipe your face, open a blank document, and decide to build a moat. Level 3. The back-end architect. You realize that relying solely on view-based ad revenue is a trap for amateurs. The real wealth is not in the pennies platforms pay you for watch time. It is in off-platform conversion. You stop chasing viral dopamine loops and start building sales funnels. You pivot your strategy and launch a painfully boring but highly searchable channel dedicated to Excel tutorials and corporate software. You pay a freelancer $50 to record their screen and explain pivot tables in a monotone voice. In the description, you drop affiliate links for enterprise software and a $99 Notion template you bought white label rights to. The videos get a tiny fraction of the views your massive true crime channel used to pull. A measly 2,000 views a video. But these are not teenagers scrolling in bed at midnight. These are desperate project managers with company credit cards trying to save their jobs. The math shifts violently. A week later, at 10:45 on a Sunday morning, you get a new kind of notification. Not a studio app ping. A Stripe notification, a crisp, beautiful alert on your lock screen. $99. Then another one during lunch. By the end of the week, that boring software channel with barely 10,000 subscribers is printing triple what your massive entertainment channels ever did. You integrate this ruthless logic everywhere. You add a $79 Stoic habit tracker to your philosophy channel. You launch a paid premium newsletter for the personal finance audience. You are no longer just farming eyeballs for loose change. You are harvesting wallets. Level 4. The Ghost Empire. You hire a 22-year-old operations manager from Eastern Europe. You pay him $2,000 a month, which is absolute life-changing money in his city, and he manages your entire fleet of 15 freelancers. Your Discord server looks like the command center of a mid-sized media corporation. Channels are meticulously organized: scripts, voiceovers, thumbnails, final cuts. It is entirely populated by anime avatars who have never spoken to each other on a voice call, yet they operate like a synchronized assembly line. You step away from the daily grind completely. You just approve the final packaging and wire the funds on Fridays. You are operating at maximum abstraction. Then comes the $50,000 month. It happens on a random Thursday afternoon. You are sitting at a corner table in a crowded, overpriced artisanal coffee shop wearing the exact same faded grey hoodie with the mustard stain. You sip a $6 flat white and open your consolidated financial dashboard. $52,410 in the last 30 days. Net profit, $41,000. You stare at the number until it blurs. You do the math in your head. You are making more in a single month than your parents make in an entire year combined. You look up from your screen. Beside you, a guy in a sharp, tailored suit is furiously typing an email, visibly sweating over some corporate deadline. Across the room, a group of college students are stressing over their student loan debt. You sit among them, completely invisible. A secret king. You could pay off their debt with a single wire transfer from your phone. But you say nothing. You do not buy a sports car. You do not buy a designer watch. You care about the absolute, intoxicating freedom of being untethered from the physical world. It is 3 in the morning again. You are standing by the floor-to-ceiling windows of your new high-rise apartment downtown. The city below is a grid of yellow streetlights and tiny crawling cars. The sprawling apartment is entirely empty. No expensive art, no luxury couches. Just a premium ergonomic chair and a state-of-the-art multi-monitor setup glowing in the dark corner of the living room. You look at the dashboard one last time before bed. Revenue continues to tick upward while you sleep, while you eat, while you stare out this glass. No face, no name, no brand. Just an infinite stream of revenue built in the shadows. You never had to sell your soul to a camera. And you never had to beg for status in the real world. The ghost economy didn't just give you money. It gave you the ultimate superpower. The ability to own the world without the world ever knowing you exist.